USAID Western Kenya Water Project works with multiple stakeholders in Kisumu, Kakamega, Siaya, Migori, Busia, Bungoma, Kisii, and Homa Bay counties to increase the availability and access to water services while enabling better management of water resources. USAID Western Kenya Water Project uses a collaborative approach to implement activities by co-creating joint work plans based on gaps and priorities for better delivery of services. The project has also embedded technical staff in all 8 counties who provide technical and advisory services to the County Department of Water and water service providers.
Western Kenya Water Project is working with us very closely. We have their staff who have been housed here at the county, whom we work with closely on a day-to-day basis. And we continue to implement the programs together with them. And through their support, we worked on co-creation of a work plan for the entire year. Together with them, we reviewed the CIDP for the second generation CIDP and got to know the challenges that were there, lessons that were learned, and therefore we used that to prepare the third generation CIDP that is ongoing. I want to say that the entire exercise of preparation of CIDP at the department has been funded by Western Kenya Water Project.
We discussed the issues of Water Act 2022, Migori Water Act 2022. Now they are also trying to help us find how we can actualize that act through regulations and policies.
The project has signed memoranda of understanding with county governments, water service providers, and the private sector to guide the partnerships.
We had undertaken certain activities like the co-creation activities that we had in Kisii County, which led to the signing of this MOU. So we have had a very wonderful relationship, and I can only say that the future is going to be very great in terms of what we have chosen to do for our people in the county government of Kisii.
The project facilitates urban water service providers to design and implement roadmaps for improved operational efficiency and commercial viability.
We sat together, and that's the company and Western Kenya Water Program, and we identified the gaps. So for me, the co-creation activity was a very key fundamental event which took place because we are introduced to wash players, people who are in the wash sectors, and some of them are the financiers, some of them are the technical people with the skills, and some of them are people with the technology. We have been together with the team from Western Kenya Water Project, and we have been able to do assessment of our, it's called the situational assessment or analysis of the company, and we have been able to identify the areas that we really need support in.
In rural water services, the Western Kenya Water Project is helping to drive the identification and development of service delivery models and technical support to address challenges facing rural water enterprises.
We have already done what we call capacity building in my staff. Those are people who have never been trained, but now they have got a serious training of 3 days workshop in terms of operation and maintenance, in terms of meter reading, billing cycling, all those. They have gone well energetic to start moving, and I can see from the last 1 week, I can see the work that they are doing. It is a very positive impact.
The project is building the capacity of rural water schemes operators and often organizes learning visits on best practices for adoption.
Ni wawuoka mwadhi nyaka Mbita kamoro ni Luanda mondo wadhi wane kit gombo mane wan go kalore gi project marwa mar Kalwach Water Project, ma bende ne wan go gi chandruok mar choko osuru mar pesa pi makonyowa e maintenance mar gik manyalo kethore. Kono wayudo ni kwanyalo dhi digital way, wanyalo bedo ga 100%, choko ma 100%, makoro wan gi pesa kendo na gima naneno kacha ni itiyo gi simu to account kucho gicha bedo activated kucho ma pesa donjo account kucho direct. Some seconds you will see the activation kubiro e tap kanyo, it clicks kato chako olo pi pesa me cholo cha kata for 1 liter kurumone it will cut off automatically. Ne waneno ka en gima nyalo konyowa kabisa kicho sebedo chandruok ma wan go ok wanya choko pesa. So actually it was a wonderful journey and experience.
In water resource management, Western Kenya Water Project is working collaboratively with existing groups at all levels to come up with the local solutions for protecting and restoring water catchment areas.
Western Water Project has come to Kajulu and they have really assisted us in mapping out the area and finding out our problems that has been occurring. They have assisted us in analyzing the situations on the ground, coming up with the problem areas that we need to address in this particular area of Kajulu, and especially in regards to the ecosystem. We want to ensure that sustainability is attained towards this hill to regain its lost glory, and this catchment area to revive back biodiversity to come back as it used to be.
The project works with private sector players like banks and financiers to help leverage private financing for community water infrastructure projects.
The discussions we are having with USAID in regards to the offering, especially to, for example, the water service providers, we are working on a solution whereby we will be able to fund them, especially on the solarization aspect and any other needs that they might be having. And this is supported hugely by USAID, to the fact that once the discussions we are having is that once we have been able to roll out the project at its completion, there will be an aspect of the part of the loan being repaid, part of the principal loan being repaid up to a certain percentage, just to ensure that after commissioning the project is up and running and we make it affordability, and the water service provider is able to pay for the loan much faster now that it reduces based on the assistance from USAID. We've also come up with a separate product for the SME businesses who are playing in the water space, where we are working to ensure that we do give them funding, and this funding is also getting a subsidy from USAID.
We are proud to be working with USAID in the Western Kenya Water Project to solve 3 key things. Number 1, applying smart technology to solve the issue of non-revenue water. Number 2, deploying solarization in the production of water to help the water service providers save on energy costs. And the last one, which is most important, is aggressively planting trees to ensure that we protect the catchment areas where this water comes from. And as they say, the challenges within the water sector cannot be solved by one company. It requires collaboration, and we are proud to be working with USAID on this particular project, and we look forward to the outcome that it will deliver in the Western Kenya region.
The project is working collaboratively to address some of the bottlenecks in delivering rural water services, like poor management of rural enterprises and sustainability challenges.
Now, of all these functions and responsibilities we have given the village councils, water is most important. And this becomes much cheaper if the people of the village own the facilities, own the responsibility, own the supply.
By the end of the 5 years, USAID Western Kenya Water Project anticipates providing basic drinking water services to 500,000 Kenyans, improved service quality to 350,000 Kenyans, and better water resources management for the benefit of communities.
Chieng mane jokuny pi nobiro ma pi owuok kendo ne wago sigalagala, ne en mor na malicha, nago sigalagala na wuon.
We have had interventions, we have had support, we have had collaboration from the Western Kenya Water Projects, helping us to build, improve and strengthen the governance environment within Busia. And if I could mention a few specific things that have been done, Western Kenya Water Project is working with us to support generation of our water policy, which is an advanced stage right now. They've been involved in creation and support to the WASH forums, which are very active across the county. They've supported us in coming up and adding value to our fiscal strategy paper, which is now at an advanced stage as well and should soon be converting into a budget for our next financial year. And we are glad that Western Kenya Water Project has worked with us on several fronts to improve the governance environment within the government of Busia, within the water sector, and within the government-owned agencies like the one we call WASCO in Busia.